Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Ruffalo Reads. I thought it would be really fun to bring you some emotional, impactful romances. These are some of my all-time favorites, some that have really hit me hard and stuck with me through time. So I hope you love these recommendations. I think I have about 8 or so physically, and then I might have some also that I don't own quite yet. But yeah, let's get into all the emotional, impactful romances that will just crush your heart in the best way. In no particular order, I just have my stack of books that have just absolutely ruined me for the better. And yeah, sorry about my background, by the way. I know it's hideous. We're working on it. We'll get there. But yeah, first book up is the oldest one on the list. And you'll see this book and another one, and they're both kind of very similar. So if you've read one, you don't necessarily have to read one. But I'm going to talk about Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is a friends to lovers, spanning time from childhood friends to lovers. So it's kind of a sweeping romance. It's very, very beautiful. They both like love writing, and so this is very similar to the other one I'm going to talk about that's more recent, but because it had been so long since I had read this one, I really did love the other one as well. But like I said, they're pretty much, it's the same. But yeah, this is the story of Macy and Elliot and, you know, their love story. So if you haven't read this yet for some reason, somehow, I would highly recommend. Since we just talked about that one, let's talk about Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This is kind of this summer's latest hit. It's very much like Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is between Persephone and Sam, and kind of same thing. They were really close friends growing up. They went to the same, like, you know, summer home, summer cabin kind of thing, and she would summer there, he lived there. They formed this bond, you know, it was obvious to everybody. Something broke them apart or whatever. They haven't seen each other in like 10 years or something crazy, and tragedy brings them together, and they, you know, they fall back into each other, and it's just beautiful. I love these like emotional, when there's something deeper going on than it's forbidden or it's taboo or it's this or that. It's something deep in your heart that like you're soulmates, but you have real shit to work through, and that was these books. So especially recommend if you haven't recently read Love in Other Words, because next, let's kick it back old school a little bit, and this is one of my all-time favorite books, and literally I'm getting the sequel tomorrow, and I am like never been giddier about it, and that is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, our Queen Colleen. This is between Lily, Atlas, and Ryle. So it's not a love triangle. However, there is some kind of, there's some things going on. It's Lily and Ryle are in this, but it's Atlas who we love. And by the way, I freaking love that name, Atlas. Like if I had a son, another son, and my fiance was with it, Atlas is cute as heck. So this deals with domestic abuse. This deals with, you know, being friends with somebody from your childhood and then finding each other again. And, you know, kind of going through personality changes that somebody can be dealing with whenever they have that underlying, you know, negative trait, I guess, of not being able to be in a healthy relationship with somebody. And I think that Colleen handled this really well. It's something that's personal to her, and you could really tell in the writing. And, you know, she always keeps you like, it's impossible to put her books down, I'd say. Like, just her writing style is captivating, and, you know, I don't know, it just shatters your heart, and you want the best for these characters, and I cannot wait to see what she does with Lily and Atlas. Yeah, I don't really know like how it could be like tension wrought or angsty, so I'm like nervous, but I'm so excited. So expect that in my October wrap up. Next is one that I saw the cover for. I heard Noelle from Noelle Gallagher, I guess, talking about it on her channel, and I was like, that does not look like a romance. It looks kind of like a chick lit, which I like chick lit books, like don't get me wrong, but I don't know. So it's Lizzie and Dante by Mary Bly. This book wrecked me. Like, let me tell you, I was in a puddle of tears. It's the sweetest shit, the saddest shit ever. The woman is diagnosed with cancer. She goes on a, you know, kind of vacation to Italy, right? Italy? Yeah, off the Italian coast, where she meets Dante, and he is a restaurant owner and a single dad. Yeah, and oh my god, she falls in love with his daughter. They fall in love with each other, but like there's obviously this weight on them because like she is she's going to die. She has, like, it's not curable. So if that's triggering for you, you know, maybe steer clear because it is really sad. But they find each other, they fall in love. It's the sweetest thing. She kind of has to deal with telling him that, like, you know, like, I have this diagnosis, like, don't expect a lot from me. And he's like, I will give you everything I can until the last breath that you take, and like, marry me and the whole thing. And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is so sweet. It's sad and depressing, but sweet. And the scenery and the atmosphere that Mary Bly paints, oh, it's so beautiful. The food that she talks about sounds like you just want to go and eat, like, everything in sight. So it's just beautiful, and I highly recommend. If this cover puts you off or makes you think that it's not like a romance or anything, trust me, it is, and it's amazing. Next is one that I've talked about on my channel before, and that is Between Hello and Goodbye by Emma Scott. You can tell how much I've tabbed it. I absolutely love this book. I read it over the summer, and it killed me. It was just so sweet. So it's like kind of a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. Like, she's a party girl from the city. I think Chicago, I don't remember though. He lives on the islands in Hawaii, and he's kind of settled. He kind of has some, you know, some emotional things holding him back from wanting to settle down with somebody. But they find each other when she's vacationing there, because she kind of needs a reset. She needs like a reason and a purpose in her life. So she goes for this little vacation, and they fall in love, but it's like, you know, she's unwilling to leave her career and her life that she's built in the city, let's just say Chicago. And he's like, no, I have my brother and sister and my nephew, let's just say nephew, it's nephew or niece there, and, you know, I can't leave them. Like, I've always been the one that's there for them. I've been like a dad figure to him. And it's them figuring out what to do, what steps to take, who's going to be the one to sacrifice, who can bend for each other. And it's does love conquer all kind of vibes. And oh my God, please read it. It's amazing. Again, the scenery, the setting, the atmosphere, beautiful, hot firefighter guy, really pretty, blonde, like tycoon kind of go-getter girl. It's really cute. Highly recommend. And it's really, really easy to get through quick. So this one I want to talk about is also one of my favorite books that I've read this year, and that is by Jennifer Hartman, and it is Still Beating. So this is really cute. This cover is actually her and her husband's hands. I thought that that was like so beautiful. So this book is a dark romance. So the two get captured. It's Dean and Cora. The two get captured. He is her sister's fiance. So they get captured by this psycho serial killer whose aim is to like get people to fall in love with each other and then kill them. So he does unspeakable things to them. Trigger warnings for a million things. Please look them up. But it's so beautiful. They do fall in love, but again, he's engaged to her sister. So they have to go back into society because they survive. That's not a spoiler, I don't think. I mean, I think they survive. It's a romance. They get back out and they have to kind of navigate. Are they like codependent upon each other because of their trauma bonding? Or is this real feelings? Do they need to kind of reevaluate what they're doing and who they're with and who they're seeing and come back to each other and figure this out and, you know, live with the consequences and decide that? So that was this book, and it was very impactful. I want to reread it someday. I love it. And there's so many cute quotes in here. I definitely want to reread and like tab and mark it up and, you know, mark my favorite quotes, because it's just a beautiful, beautiful book. And I would highly, highly recommend it for anyone that's not triggered by, you know, anything that's in here, because it's really worth it. Last book on my list, guys, is one that I literally just finished, and I actually ordered the book while I was finishing it because that's how much I fucking love this book. So I've been putting this one off for only God knows how long. I've seen it everywhere, of course. I read another book from this author and I did like it. I think I did actually give that one 5 stars, but looking back, I'm like, I don't know if that one is 5 stars. Anyways, regardless, the book is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, and this is a dad's best friend romance, and wow. So the dad and the son, they don't have like an animosity type of relationship. Like, the dad loves the son, wants to be there for the son, but the mom kind of like planted seeds in the son's head that like he, you know, was a bad guy. But, you know, meanwhile, she just wanted to kind of party, and she was young and wanted to do her own thing and just wanted, you know, Pike is the dad. She wanted him to kind of like support her and him, and I don't know, whatever. That's the whole thing. So the girlfriend is Jordan, and she's they have to go stay with his dad because, you know, whatever the son's name, the son like is kind of being a piece of shit. Like he's drinking and partying too much. He's not really making it to work. He's struggling with the bills. And, you know, Jordan's home life is not great. Like her actual family life, like I think her dad lives in like a trailer with his wife and they're like kind of snarky and shitty to her. And I don't even remember about her mom, but her mom's like either not there, I don't remember, or a piece of shit. Either way, like she is struggling to pay the bills. I think her mom like always had guys coming over. Anyways, she's in college. She's trying to pay her way through. She works at a bar. She's staying with Pike and his son, who's her boyfriend, but her boyfriend's literally never around because he's always out with friends and drinking and la la la. And so her and Pike had an interaction at the beginning of this whenever she was at a like indie movie theater and he was there and they didn't know who each other was. So then when she moved in, she's like, oh my God, this is that guy that I like had this crazy connection with weirdly. And wow. So they're spending all this time together because forced proximity, we love to see it. And, you know, they develop real fucking feelings. And I teared up and shed some tears during this. It was just beautiful. Like I've never loved an age gap romance like I've loved this one. The sex scenes were amazing. They weren't overdone. Like sometimes I feel like with these like forbidden or taboo or things like that, like the sex scenes, it's like the majority of it rather than the heart and the emotion. And like, I need that as well. Like in order for me to love a book, I need to feel like invested and impacted and like I have a strong emotional reaction to these two. And I definitely did with this. I love Pike and Jordan. They're perfect together. The son's growth was actually also really nice to see. So I definitely want to read more from Penelope Douglas. I've read Punk 57 and now Birthday Girl, and I need to read more from her. So if anybody has any other Penelope Douglas like top tier ones, I know she has that Night One series. I'm not interested in that right now anyway. I think I need like kind of a step back from like the dark romance just for a minute. But yeah, I love this, guys. And if you haven't read it, I highly recommend. Guys, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching my emotional, impactful romance recommendations video. Please come back for more. I have a lot of fun things planned for this channel, and I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Please like, comment, and subscribe.